been a long, long road, but tonight I'm gonna chase it. We off to the races.
Hey, this is the Nemesis Scoop with an update video on everything happening so far. So the Civic, I've pretty much decided that I'm just going to put it into storage for right now, and then eventually get it looked at to see if it is actually fixable and if it can be put on a frame puller, and kind of piece it together over the next couple of months or years, depending on, whatever ends up happening. But I am juggling a lot right now, so I'm trying to do as much as I can. But I do have this little update for you. I ended up picking this 2010 Ford Focus SES. I got that probably last Tuesday. Ended up fixing it on Wednesday, and I've been driving it ever since. It does need quite a few things, and I'll get into that in a second, but I just kind of wanted to go through and show you, how much I was pleasantly surprised with this car. I bought it for about $250 because it was the guy's wife's car, and it broke down on them, I guess on their way back home, and they lived too far, and it would cost too much to get the thing towed and get it into a shop and get it fixed, and they were just done with it. So I picked it up for $250. The car was overheating, and it ended up being pretty much a $40 fix. It was just a coolant outlet pipe, which I'll also show you a clip of in a second, of me doing a pressure test on it, and then actually, what the part looked like after I replaced it. Haven't had any overheating issues since. It's for what it is. It's super clean. It's an SES, so it's got the black headliner, the sunroof, the black leather seats. They're heated. It does have heated mirrors. You can see that little emblem right there on the mirrors. Let's see right there. Maybe. Probably not. Either way, mirrors are heated. Sirius XM, Bluetooth, all that jazz. Has a big sub in the trunk. And then it has the Oz wheels from factory, which are pretty neat. So I'll go ahead and pop the hood, show you under there, and kind of give you a general idea of what I ended up replacing. Like I said, it does need a lot of work, and I'll get into that in just a bit. Pressure testing right there at that. It's an outlet pipe. That's a big leak. Sounds like Donald Duck. So the reason it was leaking coolant is because on this outlet pipe, the plastic there that holds the gasket back broke just over time. This is more than likely the original. It's got 179,000 miles on it. 2010 Ford Focus. So that is why it was just dumping coolant. And I just replaced that, replaced the valve cover gasket. Pardon my mess, it's been a day. Did a coolant flush on it. That's like a rock. So replaced the valve cover gasket, the coolant outlet hose, and the spark plug well gaskets as well, because there was oil in the wells, probably about that much in each of them. So it was kind of running funky. So I ended up doing all those, cleaned everything off, took the spark plugs out, checked them. They look pretty gnarly, but I'll end up replacing those at some point. Couple things that I need to do yet, but the big stuff is out of the way, so now she's ready to drive. So it is going to be a little windy, but I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly where this thing was spewing coolant from. So right down in here, there is a plastic outlet pipe for the coolant. There's 3 tubes that come off of it. It's like this big chamber, and it screws into the engine, and it disperses coolant through I think the upper rad hose is one of the tubes that goes to it, and then I think the throttle body, there's a coolant passage for that too, and then one more in the back. I think that's for the heater core. Yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, there's a tube there going into the heater core. So there's 3 passages, and what ends up happening on these is over time that plastic channel that the gasket sits into, that ends up breaking, and the gaskets no longer are doing their job, and it's just leaking coolant. So another thing that I noticed when I went to go do all of that, I figured I might as well check the spark plugs and the wells and everything, because I noticed there was a good bit of oil around the valve cover. So I was like, all right, well, we're gonna have to replace the valve cover gasket. Well, it turns out that valve cover gasket was the original at 179,000 miles. And there was about 1.5 inches of oil in each spark plug well. So I ended up replacing all the seals for that with the valve cover gasket kit. And now the car idles a lot better. Replaced the spark plugs as well, and then did a coolant flush on it. Got all the air out of the system. Battery's pretty good. Air filter's pretty good. I think all in all, I definitely got this thing for a steal. And then in the trunk, you have the factory sub. That thing bumps. I'd love it. Couldn't be happier. SES, I don't know, I guess that's like some kind of sport trim package that these came with. Factory wheels, I guess, from Oz is what I was told. The chrome is kind of peeling off of them, but I don't care. I'll probably take a pressure washer and just peel that chrome off. It was in a little fender bender. You know, I don't really care about that. It was a $250 car. I can't really complain much. I do want to fix up a lot of stuff on it that I know are wrong with it, like the front brakes. The rotors were warped. They are very warped. I tried resurfacing them. They resurfaced very badly. So I'm actually going to just replace the rotors. The pads are 8s. I might sand them down until they're flat and then, you know, put them back on. And then the outer tie rod ends, those need to be replaced. The rotors, not the rotors, sorry, the drums in the rear are essentially the wheel bearing is in the drum. It's one with the drum for the rears. So I'm gonna just replace the rear drums, see what the shoes look like. If the shoes are bad, then I'll replace those too. I might as well just replace them. And the tires, it definitely needs an alignment after I do those tie rod ends and the shocks. So the rear tires specifically are wearing very choppy because the rear shocks are pretty much just not doing anything anymore except this. So the tire is wearing very choppy, and it needs some work, needs some love, and I'm definitely going to throw the money into it. And you know, hopefully this thing will last me a good amount of time, and then I can work on the Civic, get that hopefully fixed up and drivable again, and then we can go from there. I did the headlight restoration on it, and those came out great. Couldn't be happier. Oh, and the other thing, the grill is like this funky, like blackish gray metallic color instead of like your typical silver or chrome. Can't stand chrome. You know, a couple little things, small things that I just want to fix up on it. One of them being the aquarium in the taillight. I definitely want to get that fixed, or at least replaced, the taillight. Yeah, I'll just replace the driver's side, get that from like a to Z U-pull or something. But overall, not a bad car. Pardon my lunch. Floor mats are your typical AutoZone throw-in mats. Very, very clean car, especially for the money. And then I got 4 doors for the kids. I can throw the kids in here, and you know, we'll have a grand old time. Oh, it's got a mood lighting too. There's like 3 lights here. They shine on the passenger footwells and in the cup holder. Same thing in those cup holders up front and in the footwells up there. I actually have a friend who is a Ford tech. 2 things that I noticed was that the Bluetooth, whenever I make a phone call, I can hear everybody through the speakers, but nobody can hear me. So I don't know what's going on there. Not a big deal. I can just throw the phone call on speaker and it'll be fine. But the other thing that I noticed was that the key for remote lock unlock, especially when I'm trying to load the kids into the car, you know, it's kind of annoying to try and basically manually unlock the key with the lock on the door, on the outside of the door, and then the alarm will end up going off if I don't stick the key in the ignition and turn it at least to the on position before the timer is up. It'll start sounding the horn and blaring it. Yeah, so when I'm trying to load the kids in, if I have one kid on the hip and one, you know, I'm holding the other kid's hand, then it's, you know, it's kind of a lot to make sure that I can at least make sure that they don't run off while I'm trying to, you know, put the key in. So remote lock unlock would definitely be really nice. Not needed necessarily, but it would definitely help. I was also leaking refrigerant out of the Schrader valve here at the service port. So I ended up replacing the Schrader valve with a spare one that I had, threw that in, and got one of those recharge kits, put the right amount of refrigerant in it. Calls for, I think, 1.12 pounds of refrigerant. So I just threw that in there, and AC works. AC's fine. Because that was another thing I noticed it didn't have, was AC, especially as we're getting into the summer months and things are getting hot. And if I'm going to be hauling the kids around, I want them to be nice and cool and not, you know, getting too hot and cranky in the back seat. So yeah, so there you have it. Definitely a good buy and a good find. And I think overall, given my current situation, I think that I did pretty dang good with this thing. I'm very blessed and very thankful that I was able to even find something. And, you know, I really couldn't be happier with this car. It's also red too, so, you know, that helps. I love red. So, just wanted to say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. I will catch you guys next time.